Well guys, it has shown up, and by it I mean the Ryzen 9 5950X. Now normally I would not buy this thing, but it was $400 cheaper than MSRP on sale, so I decided why not, may as well. I'm going to be putting that 5950X into my workstation in there, which currently has a 3900X CPU in there. And when I pull that CPU out of my workstation, it is going to be going into this motherboard here and turn into our 6th dedicated CPU mining rig. So before we go any further, please hit that subscribe button, thumbs up button, as well as bell notification to be notified for future videos. Now this video, I'm not going to show you, we put in lots of CPUs before, and I'm not going to be going over how to install your CPU. But before I actually put it in, I do want to go over updating your BIOS. This is an X570. It came out before the 5000 series was released. So you are going to have to update your BIOS. That way it will even support the Ryzen 5000 series CPUs. So first things you are going to have to do is go to the website of the manufacturer of your motherboard. Key it in, find which one you have. Myself, X570 Aurorus Elite Rev 1. Then you just click on support here and go through everything it has. Go down, where is BIOS? Right here. So here's all the different BIOS versions. Now CPU mining, each BIOS could affect your hash rates and power consumption. So I do recommend using every one just to see how they work for you. But at the same time, it's also not recommended to update your BIOS unless you need to, because you could possibly have a chance of bricking your motherboard, and you don't want that to happen. So again, only flash at your own risk. Now, because this is an older motherboard and it came out when the 3000 series did, you do have to update it in order for it to work with a 5000 CPU. So I'm going to have to use at least F30 here. This is when they brought in support for the 5000 Ryzen 5000 CPUs here. So I'm just going to go with the latest one, which is F35. On my manufacturer, if there's a B or an E here, it does mean beta version, and I don't recommend you using beta versions unless you want to be a beta tester. Then by all means go for it, but there's nothing beside it here, so this is recommended to use. This is the latest stable version, so that is the one I'm going to go with. So I'm just going to click on download and then put this onto a USB flash drive and boot up. So I extracted the file onto my USB drive. Your USB drive does have to be FAT32, so keep that in mind. Now we're just going to put it into our computer here, hit F8, we're going into Q flash. I'm going to click on our USB here. We do have to find the drive where our flash is. So here we can see X570 EW here, and now I'm just going to hit the arrow. Are you sure you want to update? Yes, I do. And it is verifying, push to start. So boom, it is now flashing it. Do not touch anything, because if something happens at this point, you could brick your complete your motherboard. I was gonna say hard drive for some reason, but you could brick your motherboard, and you do not want that to happen, or you could potentially need a new one. Okay, so we're all booted back up here. We're in the BIOS, and now you can see F35 is the BIOS we are using. So this should support Ryzen 5000 CPUs now. And now I just want to go over a quick tip here before I pull this apart. I'm not going to show you. You guys see me put multiple CPUs in, so I'm just doing a quick swap out here. But if you're using the stock cooler or pre-applied thermal paste, I recommend heating it all up. We know this is warm. It's always been mining. But heat up your PC. So if it's a game PC and it's been sitting, you get a new CPU, warm it up. And then when you turn it off, loosen it a little bit and move it side to side. Don't just pull it out, because you will pull your CPU apart. That's why I always like to use aftermarket thermal paste, just in case, because it's not as sticky as that pre-applied stuff, and you will not be ripping your CPU apart. So you got to be really careful with Ryzen CPUs. Okay, so I am all up and running now and currently in full tuning phase for a 5950X on Raptorium. Remember, Zen 3 now, not Zen 2. Well, pretty much sums up this video. Just a quick one on pre-checklist to update your CPU from a 3000 to a 5000 series Ryzen. Now I guess I'm going to go use this CPU that we just pulled out of our workstation, the 3900X, and put it together on this dedicated rig to make our 6th dedicated rig and get this thing running on Raptorium and see what kind of profits we can be looking at. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Hit that subscribe button, like button. I'll catch you on the next one. Rabid out. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you haven't, please comment, subscribe, and like this video, as well as check out one of these other videos if you have not seen it yet. I do try to stream every Saturday and Sunday, so stay tuned for more future content.